Alrighty, so everybody making their way through their percent test. If you've not got that done yet, make sure that you get that done before you do the Finance Lab 1, because you know, we want to get that section put away before you get into this one so you don't confuse yourself with the formulas. So yeah, the percent test and Finance Lab 1, they both opened up on Monday. I sent out an announcement that I was going to go ahead and open up the Finance Lab 2 section. I have not unlocked the assignments yet because you've got plenty to do right now as it is. So make sure that you finish your percent test and your Finance Lab 1. Do the percent test first. It's only 10 questions. It's not going to take you that long. And then you can start working on your Finance Lab. Now, we looked at the fact that it is a matching assignment. It's got one question, so you got to match the choices in there with it, right? And we also, we went over how to use the financial calculator. Today we're going to look at a website that we're going to use in Finance Lab 2. If we have time, we'll try to look at some other websites you can use for mortgages and things of that sort. We didn't really get to that this morning in my Andrews class because we had a lot of them that needed to make sure that they got their percent test done. So we just kind of focused on that. But all right, so Finance Lab 2, the section for it, should be open now. All right. So let me get caught up here. Oh, come on. All right. Well, let me get out of this real quick, just for a second. Google likes to do that. They're like, oh, you've not signed in. Shame on you. All right. Sorry, thought I had this pulled up already. Everybody else is running slow or frozen even. There it goes. That must be why. Can't share bandwidth with everybody, I suppose. All right. Now we're ready to go. So let's go back over here. I think it's the computer because the mouse wouldn't move over either. Okay, so Finance Lab 2 is called the car dealership. All right, so Finance Lab 1, we went over the different kind of formulas and things involved with buying a house. Well, now we're going to look at buying a car or trading a car. All right, a couple of different situations. So down here, we've got Critical Thinking Lab 4. I don't want you to open that up yet. All right, don't open that up yet. What I do want you to pull up, though, is this link right here where it says the Auto Trader Loan and Payment Calculator. You're going to need that for this lab. All right, so just click on that link when it pops up. This tends to work a little bit quicker than the financial calculator can. However, with some of these problems, or with at least one of these problems, you're going to have to use the financial calculator with it because, on Monday we talked about how you still need the loan payoff part of the financial calculator. So if you would, let's see, that opened that up. Well, I've got it saved, so let me just pull it up this way. I've got to go in there and get everything on force download. All right. So on the financial calculator, we are going to be focusing today on the loan payoff. Okay? We're going to be looking at the loan payoff formula. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a scenario, pretty much exactly what you've got to deal with on your lab. Now again, Finance Lab 2 isn't open yet. You can't do it yet. It's not going to open until next week because you've got these other two things done first. Right? You've got to get your percent test done in your Finance Lab 1. So let's say that you're going to buy a car with a trade-in. Okay? All right. And you've got two options to pick from as far as, you know, payment options and things like that. First of all, we need to know how much the car is that we're going to buy. So somebody just, you know, give me a price that you think a car, $60,000. Okay, that's good because it ain't we use 65. So Alex wants to buy a $60,000 car. Money is no object, right? Okay, so the question itself, let me get the phrasing right on this here. Find it. I've got it in here somewhere. I should have a printout of this. Where did it go? Got too much junk in this binder. Bear with me, I've got it in here somewhere. I lied. Maybe I don't. Oh, it was on the back. Okay. Okay. One place I didn't like, the back of the first paper. All right. So we're going to buy a car that costs $60,000. You're going to trade in your current vehicle that you're still making payments on. All right. Does anybody want to give us a... So this is for the new car. Does anybody want to give us a number to use for our current monthly payment? It doesn't have to be exactly what you're paying. Just give me a 3-digit number with 2 decimal places. Like, you know, however many hundred and so many cents. 550 and... Okay. So your current payment is $550.50. That worked out nicely for you. Okay, so that's your current monthly payment, $550.50. Now, let's say that you've got a certain amount of years left to pay on it. Let's say 3.5 years left to pay on it, okay? 3.5 years. Ah! That doesn't look like anything. 3.5 years left to pay. Okay? And that current loan, somebody give me a loan percent. Single digits, please. 4? Okay, that's good. And you're paying at 4%. Good. 4% APR. All right. The dealership is going to let you, or they're going to give you some money back on a trade. Give me a trade-in value. Just pull one out of thin air, or tell me how much you traded your vehicle for. I'll tell you how much I traded my previous truck for. So I traded my previous vehicle. I got $13,400 on trade. All right, so you've got two options to buy this new car. Okay, so option one is that you finance the whole thing. So finance the entire cost, which would be the whole $60,000. Whoa! My brain kind of walked backwards there for a second. Finance the entire cost at, let's say, what's your current APR for? Let's say that you're going to do 2.5%. 5 years. Okay, and then option two, I didn't leave myself enough room here. Option two, this is a little bit messy. Option two is you're going to take a rebate. Take a rebate of $3,000 and then finance the rest at, let's say, 5.5% for 5 years. Okay. All right. Real quick, does anybody know what a rebate is? Like how it's applied to the car price? All right, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, so when you go to Auto Trader, there's a couple of pieces of information that you've got to put in there. All right, so let me zoom this in for the video here. Okay, nice. All right, so the stuff that we know, let's go ahead and type it in. So the car that we're looking at has a price of how much? $60,000. Okay. We want to we're going to do option one. Okay. Now, what's important to know, and you can see I even lost my place here for a second. All of this here, this applies to your current vehicle. Okay? All of that there applies to your current vehicle. So this interest rate here comes from the options that you're looking at. All right, that's why I lost my place. So you got to be kind of meticulous with this stuff. So right now we're looking at option one, right? All right, so this is, we'll call it, oops, did I turn the marker on? Yeah. Okay. So this is option one, which is the whole cost at, what did it say, 2.5% and 5 years. That kind of got away from me. Okay, so this is option one, whole cost at 2.5% for 5 years. All right, that's just mainly for the video folks, so I have to take it off to type it in. So with option one, 2.5%. Now, on the financial calculator on Monday, I showed you how, like, when you apply an APR there, you got to convert it to a decimal, right? That's for these purposes. That's just for the financial calculator. For Auto Trader, you just type it in the way that it is. So 2.5% goes in right there. Okay. Next, Auto Trader doesn't do the term in years. It does it in how many payments that you're going to be doing, so it converts it to months. So you got to know, I mean, hopefully by now, we know how many months there are in a year. I don't want to make any assumptions because people get mad when you do that. So 5 years, we're looking at 60 months, okay? All right. For this, we've got enough things to worry about, so you don't need to put anything in here, okay? Maybe it was a tax-free weekend. I mean, you know, I know that that doesn't apply to cars, but just go with me here, all right? You really think that the state is going to be like, we're not going to apply a sales tax to cars? And they're like, to cars? Are you kidding me? So I'm like, this is school supplies, not cars. But yeah, we're not going to mess with sales tax, okay? Because we got enough to worry about as it is. Now, are you making a down payment on this? Offer the information on the board. Are you making a down payment? No. Nah. Trade value and down payment are two different things, unfortunately. All right, so there is no down payment. So then trade-in value, I mean, I don't really know. I know the down payment is another one that comes off of the list price, and you know, it lowers your monthly payment, stuff like that. Trade-in, I don't think it does the same thing. I mean, it comes off somehow, but I can't remember how. All right, so your trade-in value is $13,400. Okay, they've got some kind of formula that works that in there, but we're just going to say, do this for us, Auto Trader, please and thank you. You know how to do it. Now, amount owed on trade. That's not on the board, is it? No. Amount owed on trade is not on the board. So for amount owed on trade, for this one here, amount owed on trade, you have to use loan payoff. So you've got to go back to the financial calculator, okay? So just hop back over there for a minute. Okay, so now loan payoff is where the stuff on your current vehicle comes into play, all right? So you take this information from your current vehicle and you feed it into the financial calculator. So starting off with, what is our current payment on our vehicle? $550.5. Yeah. Alex was just reading what was already typed in there as an example. Whoa, that's too many fives. You got stuck. No. Off the board, yeah. The board that we, the example on the board that we came up with, our current payment is $550.50. All right. What is our current annual percentage rate? 4%. So financial calculator, remember it has to be converted to a decimal, so 0.04. Number of payments left. Okay. So the way that you get the number of payments left, you're going to take the years that we have and convert it to months. All right? How many years do we have left? Yeah, 3.5 years left to pay. So multiply that by 12, and how many payments do we have left? Fast multiplication. 12 times 3, 36. 12 times half, 6, 36 plus 6, 32, 42, right? Trying to work with this with my daughter to try to get her in this habit. Okay, so our current rate, 4%, our current payment is $550.50, and we've got 42 payments left, which means that we still owe on our current vehicle $21,000 or $21,542.06. Okay? Now, the way that this spreadsheet is set up, I don't think it'll let you copy that because it's locked with a formula. So I would just kind of jot it down, maybe underneath where we've got our current vehicle information. So $21,542.06. That's how much we got left. So we're going to go back over to our Auto Trader website and type that in, 21542.06, because this gets incorporated into your new car payment, your new loan. Okay? So when you get that in, I don't know if you've got to hit enter or not. I think it does it in real time. Yeah, it did. Okay. So the question that it was looking at with these two, between option 1 and option 2, and I forgot to mention this, I apologize, is which one is the better monthly payment? Okay, so for option 1, we just need to write down what the monthly payment was. So for option 1, the monthly payment is $1,209 a month. Okay? All right. $1,209 a month. And it rounded it up. You know, the financial calculator would have given you the decimals and things like that. But Auto Trader rounds it up to the nearest whole dollar for you. All right. So now let's adjust this for option 2. Okay. So let's clear this out. We'll change colors so we know that it's different. All right. So option 2 said take a rebate of $3,000. So we've got a $3,000 rebate. And then finance the rest at 5.5%. So 5.5% at 5 years for the rest. Does anybody think they know now how you apply the rebate? Yeah, exactly. So you're going to take $3,000 off of the $60,000 price. Yeah, very good. So instead of financing this for $60,000, you're going to finance it at $57,000. So rebate is just, we're going to take this much off the top, right off the bat. Okay? All right. And then what interest rate are you going to use for the rest? Under option 2. Yes, 5.5. Very good. 5.5. Still for 5 years. Trade-in value is the same. The amount owed on the trade is still the same. Okay? So, how did our payment change? It went up a little bit, didn't it? So with this one, even with taking $3,000 off the top, you're looking at, oops, wrong color. Don't want to confuse anyone. So $12,044 a month. That's a lot for a car. That's most folks' house payment. Close to what ours is. But anyway, so what happened? Why did it go up? Exactly. The higher annual percentage rate. The more that the lender, whether you financed it through the dealership or through a loan agency, The interest was higher, so they're going to be adding that in. So trade-in value is also subtracted. Yep. And the down payment would be subtracted, and the amount owed on trade is added. Yep. So, I don't buy and trade cars very much, so I forget sometimes. And, you know, I only look at this twice a year, so, you know. All right. So, to answer the question, question three would say, why, or no, question three would say, which one is the better option? All right, so in this case, which one is the better option? Option one. Now that you're only looking at it through the scope of which one is the better monthly payment. All right, if you're looking at it through the scope of interest paid, option one would still be better because the years didn't change, right? Now, if you were to dial the years back on one of these, like say if option two had said instead of 5 years, if it had said 4 years, okay, if it said 4 years, the payment would have went up, but the total that you pay went down. All right, so like we were talking about with the houses, it just depends on what you want to do. All right, do you want to have a cheaper monthly payment, or do you want to pay it off so you're done with it and you don't owe them a whole lot of money? So you got to look and see, you know, everybody's in a different boat. Okay. So, yep, that's the car buying lab. So, does anybody want to put like their actual car info into this? Maybe not. I know, it just, you know, when you start looking, if you're like me, when you start looking at your finances, you just feel like someone's hitting you over the head with a brick. Well, I mean, you could steal the vehicle, but they tend to throw people in jail for that. You know, those pesky lawmen. All right. So, looking at the lab. Oh, let me go back. So, the lab has 8 questions. The first 4 are dealing with this. You're trading a car, and you want to know which option's better. The second part just tells you, here's how much the car is worth, finance, or figure out how much the monthly payment is for this many years, this many years, this many years, this many years. In comparison to Finance Lab 1, it's a very quick lab. All right, it's very easy. It's really not too difficult, but since we've got so much open right now, I'm not going to open this lab until next week. And what we'll do most likely is we'll just open up the Finance Lab 2 and the test on Monday of next week. And then for Wednesday, we'll just, I don't know yet, because we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Yeah, play some games. No, what we'll probably do is we'll just do like a midterm review and just kind of go back and look through everything that we've done so far, because I know a lot of folks kind of have a list right now of stuff that they want to take another crack at. Like I was telling you guys, since you meet here on campus, remember that we will be here Monday and Wednesday of next week. We will be here the 9th, the week after that, but the 11th, 12th, and 13th, that is fall break for non-high school campus-based classes. I haven't figured out yet what to do with the high school classes, but as soon as I do, I'll let them know. Okay. Yeah, like I said, finance is pretty short, so there's not a lot to it. All right. So, what do you have to work on for the next little while? Percent test and finance lab. Now, I'm not going to air anybody's dirty laundry out, but I just want to take a quick check to see how many people have turned it in. Now, I don't remember off the top of my head what group everybody was in, but if you know what group you're in, Group A, uh-oh, nobody. Group B, uh-oh, starting stinking here. Group, oh no. Oh no. Come on, Group D. Oh, for God's sake. Shame on all of you. All right. Now, if I look at the finance lab and I see that somebody's already started working on that before they finish the test, uh-oh, indeed. Let's just say they know who they are, and they know they weren't supposed to do that yet. All right? So finish the percent test first. All right? Get that done first, and then you can work on the finance lab. They are both due on the 3rd. Okay? So make sure you get those done. All right, yeah, short lesson today. Any questions? Like I said, this, there's not really much in the way of like handwritten work for these labs because this scratches off our technology component off the list. Okay? All right, we'll see y'all on Monday.